original big baby of boxing because Jared Anderson looked like little baby, and I'm not talking about the rapper out of the ATL, but nevertheless, just got through watching Andy Ruiz versus Miller. Me myself, I'm not gonna call it a robbery. Um, I'm okay with the draw, but I did think Miller did enough. I just thought he had such a strong second half. I thought for the most part, I thought he pretty much won you know, every round going into the second half. I thought he pretty much won, every round from the fifth to the end. But, at the end of the day, I don't score these fights. They had it a draw. Andy Ruiz, he bagged the first 4 rounds. Looked like Miller was gonna be in some trouble. He was landing some nice shots at close range, landing some nice body shots. But then around the fifth round, he started to gas out. He started to lose steam in his punches, and then Miller just started walking him back, pushing him forward, landing short shots, and they were very effective. It looked like around the seventh that he had Ruiz in trouble and that he was on the verge of stopping Ruiz, but he couldn't get Ruiz out of there. Ruiz hurt his hands, but at the end of the day, we don't be really wanting to hear that stuff. At the end of the day, you signed up for it, and that's just how boxing works. So I'm not going to claim bloody murder, even though it ended in a draw. I thought Miller just did enough to secure the fight. But when you fight in a guy's backyard, a lot of times, if it's a close fight, they go with the hometown guy. Even though Andy Ruiz hadn't fought in 2 years, he says he'll give him a rematch. He said he's willing to run it back. I will say this much so far. This has been a great night of boxing for the most part. Basically you know, Venezuela and Pitbull Cruz is next. This is going to be a barn burner, I think. So far, so good. Basically, the fight of the night is Anderson versus Bocoli. But let's see what happens with this next fight. Like I said before, Jarrell Big Baby Miller, at the end of the day, he put himself in this position where he had to crawl his way back because this man failed numerous drug tests. Numerous. So for the people that sit up there and think I'm just picking on, Ryan Garcia, no, I have an issue with anybody that gets caught that failed. I mean, this dude failed numerous drug tests, numerous, you know. And at the end of the day, I just don't be wanting to hear no excuse with the dog ate my homework, like excuses on how that stuff ended up in your system. At the end of the day, you're responsible for what goes on in your body. So we're getting set for the co-feature bout. This is gonna be pretty good. Like I said, I cannot remember when I watched pretty much all of the fights. I mean, pretty much from beginning to end, with the exception I was in and out of the Cruz fight. I wasn't really that interested in that fight, but I was interested in the other fights. So we're gonna have a long, very long stream breaking down the fights, including the main events. I may do two different streams where I'll talk about the undercard and the co-main event. Then I'll talk about the main event depending on what happens. So we're gonna have to see. But nevertheless, I had Jarrell Big Baby Miller winning the fight. Now, as far as Anderson goes, whew, this is gonna be a long ride home back to Ohio, and he gonna have to do some soul searching. He gonna have to assess whether he wants to continue boxing. So we'll talk about that later on. Anyway, this is your boy Town Biz. I am out.